Hey toy fans, Aaron here. It's getting pretty close to February where hopefully soon those of us that have ordered the Barge will be getting our hands on it. So I thought I'd take a look at a figure that's pretty specific to the Barge scene, and that is the C-3PO and Salacious Crumb figures from the 30th anniversary line. So let's head to that table and check these out. And here's a look at the card for C-3PO and Salacious Crumb. They were released towards the end of 2007 on this 30th anniversary collection line. Gotta say I do like the look of this packaging. Nice artwork of Salacious Crumb and kind of hidden in there C-3PO, but it still looks good. Along the left side of the card, you got that 30th stamp with the 77 to 07 on there. This is, once again, just celebrating that 30th anniversary of Star Wars. With this line, you got an exclusive collector coin included, which you can see off on the right side of the card. And then through the blister, of course, you see C-3PO and Salacious Crumb. On the bottom left side of the blister, you see the 30. This is the number in the lineup for this figure. And then over on the right side of the blister, just the name of the figures included. Back side of the card, kind of the same formula as all the other figures. Top half is about the character that you're giving. In this case, pretty much just focusing on C-3PO, showing you an image of him from the movie. For the left, you got a shot of the action figure that you're getting. And then along the top, a brief write-up about what's going on at this point in the film. Off on the right side, you got a character profile of just C-3PO. And along the bottom half of the card, you got your other figures that were also available in the line at the time, which I gotta say was a great lineup of figures coming out through that period. And looking at the figures out of the packaging, starting first with C-3PO. Overall, this is a kit bash figure. The upper part of the body, the legs, they're all used from various releases that were done before. The head sculpt, though, is new, of course, because we haven't received a C-3PO where the eye's popping out. Overall, as you can see, the body is done in this vac metallized look to get you that gold finish. With the exception, of course, of his silver leg, which has a very nice dull silver look to it. I really like the way that leg looks. We'll say one thing about the gold that's used, and I actually like the way it looks. This isn't that really deep golden color that we've had on other releases of C-3PO. It's kind of a nice, subtle, worn-down look. I can't tell through my little monitor if this is at all showing up very well, but I gotta say I rather like that. You get the nice shiny look of his body, but of course, I mean, he's dirty. He's not fresh off the assembly line or had just received an oil bath, so I like that he's not this, deep golden color. Aside from that, one of the other standout features for this release, once again, other than that eye, is the little blobs of green slime here and there. It's nice, it's subtle. As you can see, you got a little bit around the eye socket on the face, little blob just off center on the chest, and then you got some on the bicep and on the fingers of his right arm. As far as the sculpt, starting with the head, I mean, hey, it's C-3PO. It looks fantastic. Obviously, it's very representative of how he looks. Now, with this figure displayed with the eye out, obviously you're getting the look that you want. If you want him displayed with the eye in, then what you're left, though, is the little back centerpiece of his head sticking out from the backside. So while he'd have a normal look in the front, the backside is just pretty messed up looking. But it makes sense. It's part of the little playability feature of getting the eye to pop out. Now with the eye pushed out, that back little centerpiece doesn't quite sit right. I've rotated around and stuff, but it just doesn't, it's not flush with the rest of the lines of the head. I'm pretty okay with that. Also, as you can see, it's painted gold rather than having the metallic finish. As far as that little eye, good painting on the front, nice yellow little black pupil. Otherwise, you just got that little clear piece. Obviously it was wires and stuff. That might have been a little too much detailing to ask to be done. After all, this is a pretty small piece. I still love what they did here. As far as the sculpting of the rest of the body, I mean, like I said, it's C-3PO. Everything is looking as it should be. I like the detailing that you're getting through the arms. Of course, the center chest looks just like C-3PO with that little round piece in the middle. The wiring being done looks great. You got some nice wire painting of various colors through that centerpiece. Here's a quick look at the backside. Once again, everything's sculpted nicely. And then as we look through the legs, good sculpt carries on. Various lines in there around the insides of the thigh. Some nice sculpting around the knee joints. And then as I already mentioned, that silver leg is just looking pretty awesome. I really like the way that leg looks. And of course, as pictured in the packaging, as it's even displayed, Salacious Crumb has no problem sitting on top of C-3PO's shoulder. You can get that eye socket to line up right inside Salacious's hand. You don't necessarily need to have C-3PO's right arm up to help hold Salacious, but he does need something to hold on to stay in position on the shoulder. Otherwise, he will just fall off. As for his articulation, head's going to swivel all the way around. The shoulders, I mean, they go all the way around, but they're not going to clear his rear end. They're going to get stuck on the back end, but you're going to get the posing that you want out of it. His chest crunches forward and back, and then, of course, he swivels at the waist, but you're not going a full 360 because the body is kind of in this oval shape, so I don't want to force it all the way around. The legs only come forward about this much. I'm fine with that. And they do go back a little further. And for Salacious Crumb, this figure is an all-new release. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is the second release of Salacious Crumb in the modern line. The first one was released with Oola and Salacious Crumb 2-pack. And I think this is a very nice update to that figure. I like the overall coloring of the body. And then his little fur parts are painted a pretty nice burgundy just up top of the head. Just a touch of burgundy off his little beard stubble hair off the side of his mouth. And that little fur piece around his neck. Great head sculpt. Obviously, this looks just like Salacious Crumb. And, yes, the eyes are painted where the one eye's looking up, the other eye's looking down, but it works for this figure. I think his eyes were rolling all over the place in the film. So in this case, I don't mind that the eyes are not looking in a single direction. Aside from that, the only other bits of painting that you get are the blacks at the end of the fingernails and at the end of the toenails. His left foot on mine did get a little bit of black splatter on that one toe. That's something that's probably going to vary from figure to figure. As far as articulation, the head swivels all the way around. And you don't get much, but you do get a little bit of movement up and down. Both of the arms swivel up and down. And if you really wanted to, you could move that head out of the way. And then you get your, near 360 movement. Your legs swivel around, and that's for both of them. And then they're also both hinged. And near as I can tell, I haven't been able to get my tail to move. I think that's just glued into position. So no articulation there. And here's a better look at the coin that's included. You get the image of C-3PO and Salacious Crumb on the front side. Name up top. Got the 30th off to the left side, stating, of course, this is 30th anniversary. Number 30 on the right side of the coin for the figure's place in the lineup. And then down along the bottom, Jabba's servants, since, well, technically, 3PO was Jabba's servant at this point in the movie. And then on the back side, Star Wars logo. Return of the Jedi for the film name along the bottom. You got 1977 to 2007 on the sides. And then the Hutt symbol for the center. Pretty cool piece. It is what it is, just a little gimmick that's included. So overall, in my opinion, this is a great release. The 30th anniversary line did a great job of capturing moments or particular scenes from the movies and releasing them in action figure form. And this is really no exception. Now, certainly when we saw it happen in the movie, 3PO was laying down and Salacious Crumb was off to the side. Wasn't really sitting on his shoulders. I don't really care. It's a creative way to bring that scene to life within the action figure form. And with the Barge coming out, I think this fits in perfectly with that set. I just need to find an extra one to populate my Barge when it arrives. That wraps up this look at C-3PO and Salacious Crumb. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on these figures in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.